Every time you look at me, I'm as helpless as can be. I become a puppet on a string. You can do most anything with me. People say to me, you know, where'd you get your singing voice from? And my singing voice comes from my mother. My mother was a great singer. She actually, my father was from Yass and my mother was from Nowra, and so I've got some coastal ties and some inland ties. And my mother sang on the ABC amateur hour back in Yass many moons ago, and won the amateur hour on the ABC radio.
Was that in the 60s?
That well before the 60s, I'd imagine, yeah. And and that's where I got my singing voice from. Well, I'm just a puppet on a string. You can do most anything with me.
So your mum had a beautiful voice. I understand that your family was quite large. You had a few kids in your mob?
Yeah, big family. 12 kids.
12?
Yeah.
That's better than our 7.
Yeah.
Are they all musically gifted?
Some of them are, not all of them. They all like singing and that, but they're not all. You know, they don't get out and perform. So there's only a few of us in the family that like singing and performing. Yeah.
When you get together, is it musical?
Oh yes, yeah. When we come together, we just jam, put the guitars up and play, you know, and sing along, play whatever. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Music, to me, music speaks all languages. You know, it makes everybody happy.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess that's why we get music in our life, I guess. And also it helps you too when I find when you're at a low point in your life. You know?
Yeah.
When you're in a low point at your life, you know, I pick my guitar up and I start playing songs, and you know, then you feel better again. It makes you more relaxed, you know. So I started off as doing Elvis when I was a little Aboriginal kid at a mission called Brungle, which is situated, you know, not too far from Tumut, in between Tumut and Gundagai. And as a 6-year-old kid, I used to sing Teddy Bear to the class. The teacher would ask me to sing Teddy Bear, the song Teddy Bear, to my class back in the, you know, I'm talking 60s, you know, early 70s. I guess that's where it began, because I've always liked the sound of him. I liked the way, you know, and we saw some old movies of him, you know, black and white movies back in the day. And so way back when, you know, I think this goes, I get no music. I mean, if you let me be your loving teddy bear, put a chain around my neck, lead me anywhere, oh, let me be your teddy bear.
Wow.
Something like that.
That is fantastic. And wow, how did the class react? Do you remember?
Oh, you know, the kids just loved it. And you can imagine this little 6-year-old Aboriginal kid going, you know, shaking her head and, in a missionary school. Just his charisma and just his sound of his voice, I think, sort of got everybody, you know. As you know, there's thousands and thousands of what we call ETAs, Elvis Tribute Artists, around. Yeah, so I guess it started way back when I was only a little fella. I can remember singing Elvis even before I went to school, you know. So it's been ingrained in me for a long time. Yeah. But in saying that, Michael, I do a lot of other songs too. I just don't sing Elvis, but Elvis is my little niche that I have, and you know, and that's where I'm probably more known as at the moment. Yeah. My house in Budapest, my hidden treasure chest, golden grand piano, my beautiful Castile. Ooh, I leave it all. My acres of land I've achieved. It may be hard for you to stop and believe, but for you, ooh, I leave it all. All for you, ooh, I leave it all. Give me one good reason why I should. Yeah, worked in various jobs over the years, but worked hard, and like I said earlier about singing, you've got to work out your craft and you've got to work out things.
Where would you put the balance of what's important to you in life?
Look, I think family's very important. Family's number one. And yeah, I've got a good balance at the moment. Life's pretty good for me, you know, and things are going okay. And yeah, so I guess touch wood, things are going good at the moment. And yeah, I get that great balance, you know, where I can spend that valuable time with my family and friends, and still have that time to do what I like doing, you know, the passion, like singing for people. But in saying that, I do like my own time, alone time. But yeah, so at the moment everything's good, you know. I'm not clashing with anything, but then again, like Elvis says, TCB, taking care of business. You got to do what you got to do. If I'm asked to go and perform somewhere, I've got to go and do it. You know, like Parks this year, when I did 4 set shows, I ended up picking up 6 other spots. You know, like for a half hour or an hour spot or an hour and a half spot. You know, it's got its disadvantages. It's got its advantages. You know, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good Elvises out there. A lot better than what I am, because I don't drink or smoke. I never have, and you know, and I guess I was just my own person. You know. Growing up as a young fella, you know, and I played a lot of sports. You know, I've been a good first grade footballer, you know, reserve grade footballer, been a top cricketer, I played tennis, all that sort of stuff. I guess I'm one of these people, when I do something, I want to be best at it, I want to do my best at it. Right. I don't want to be the best at it, but I want to do my best, you know what I mean, at doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You set your goal to do something and you've got to go and do it.
And a lot of people benefit from that.
People benefit, you know. 2001 I was Chairman of Australia Day Citizen of the Year, you know, and I've been to university and graduated from university. But in my graduation speech at the Australia Day, I just said, you know, we need to break down the barriers and build the bridges between all communities, because at the end of the day we're all God's kids, and we need to be one person. We need to be one community. Thank you. Get you out my next show.
Amateur values of music performance is something that I'm very interested in. So what you're telling me is that your mum performed over the national radio.
Yes.
Because the ABC had a particular spot for amateur performance.
Yeah, they did, yes. Back in the day.
Very interesting.
I don't know all the details about it, but that's what, you know, I was told leading up as growing up as a young fella.
And there are people on reservations and out in the ghettos, and brother there, for the grace of God, for you and I. And if I only had wings of a little angel, you know I'd fly to the top of the mountain, and then I'd cry. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
What do you think of, say what we got in town these days? We got the Tumut Takes Two. Did you get involved in the Tumut Takes Two?
Yes, I've been involved with the Tumut Takes Two from the start. It's their 6th year, I think, and I've been there from the word go. On the back of having some really good friends back in the day with the Elvis, when the Elvis started, and the King show started, you know, to make my dreams come true. Those people made my dreams come true, and I'm forever grateful for that. And I've moved on doing my own thing now, and yeah, look, I'm going okay. I'm doing a few shows here and there, meeting nice people everywhere, and you know, making a few extra dollars here and there, which it helps out, but it's all good.
So it sounds like that you actually are part of the sort of the infrastructure of music in Tumut.
There's a lot of great talent coming through the schools, and that, you know, the high school. A lot of great talents come from the high school, and so. But I'm there as a mentor, and you know, and I'm happy to mentor and help them, and you know, and show them. Right. You know, I've had people come to me for singing lessons, and you know, and ideas how to breathe properly when singing, and my craft and all that type of stuff, you know. Stagecraft and mic usage, you know, like how to use a mic when you're singing. You know, if you got a big note, you know, you got to know to put it away, and how to get back onto the mic, and just things like that. And they all, it's taken me a long time to learn, you know, and but I want to pass my knowledge on to other people.
How many shows do you think you've done over the years?
Oh, I've lost count, you know, if you can include in parks, because I go to the parks, National Elvis Festival every year in January. And this particular year I went over to do 4 shows, set shows, over a show a day. Over 4 days I ended up doing 10 shows, so I ended up picking up 6 other shows or spots in between.
Wow.
It's good to be recognised by your peers, and it's good to be recognised by your community and, you know, and the people that you perform with. I love performing, and you know, if I make people happy because they like me singing, they like my voice or whatever, the way I perform, well then I'm happy because I make them happy. But, just last year I received an email to go and perform in British Columbia.
Wow.
Now that's to perform with some of the best ETAs in the world, and you know, obviously I didn't have the finance to do it, and but my name's getting out there, you know, in the shadow of the Kings, getting out there in the world. New Zealand last year, twice, on 2 separate occasions, got asked to go there. Again, didn't have the funding to go. This year's looking a bit promising. I've got a couple of shows coming up locally, and just spots here and there, you know. And in August there's a show coming up in Albury. And it's a part of a rock and roll thing in one of the big clubs down there, and they've asked me to go down and be the Elvis on the Sunday. So I'll go down and perform there. Also, I've applied for what they call the Viva Elvis Paradise, Elvis Viva Paradise, up at Service Paradise. And they have the Elvis contest there, and I've applied for it and I've been accepted to perform in it. So I'm looking forward to that. So there's a few things happening.
Have you actually thought about seeking any kind of a grant in the past to help you travel to perform or anything like that?
Oh, Michael, I've looked into that. I've asked a few people around town, you know, like just to help me out with sponsorship and stuff like that, because I missed out on going to New Zealand, and I'm really trying to get myself this year. It's in October this year. If, you know, providing what's going on in the world today, if I can get enough funding, I'll probably go to New Zealand. And it's not about me going over there trying to win, it's about me going over there and performing with these other guys, rubbing shoulders with some of the best in the business, you know. And you know, I'm at that stage where I think I can, you know, just as good as a lot of them. But look, it'd be lovely if we could have some sort of a grant, you know. I would have loved to go on to compete over there, you know, in British Columbia and New Zealand and that. And I still may do, you know. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only Aboriginal ETA that performs on the parks program.
If you're going to do something like this, you got to go on your own mission, if you know what I mean.
You do, you've got to go on your own mission, but in saying that, you've got to have that power, you've got to have that passion. People might think, oh, you know, you can just put a show together just like that. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of, you got to sit down with sound man, you've got to sit down and work lights, you've got to work lights, stage lighting, choreograph, you got to do a lot of advertising, and I do it all on my own. I don't have an agent or a manager, and so I do it all on my own. So there's a lot involved, particularly for my show. It's a one-man show, but it's a big stage setup. It's a big, you know, it's a big props, and so it takes a long time. You wouldn't think so for a one-man show, but you know, if I'm going to perform for 2 hours or 2.5 hours, you know, I normally perform for an hour and then have a break and change costume or whatever and come back on.
So, let's see, Tumut without the shadow of the king. Poorer or richer? I think poorer. Okay, you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Bringing your art to the people. Magic.
Take my heart and please be fair, handle it with love and care, for I'm just a puppet on a string. You can do most anything with me. You can do most anything with me. Thank you very much.